What is going on, Rockstar? How are you? How are you? How are you? Happy Wednesday evening. And in this episode of Networking with Codes, we are going to talk about a few things. So let's jump into it. This first time you see on my face, my name is Codes. I coach Black women in the sisterhood of starting and developing a business. So let's jump into it. All right. So I have been interested in you. I've been asking questions so I can get to know you a little bit better. So on Monday, I had a question and two people answered after I ended the live. So I wanted to share those two people's answers to the question. So, and I didn't ask you, how are you? How are you? How are you? I didn't ask that. So, how are you? Are you okay? Let me know in the comments if you are all right. All right. So, the question I asked was true or false? Being smart means having all the answers. Okay. So, I had to write them down this time because I wanted to make sure that I had clarification and that I was clear on what these two people answered. Okay, so Byron said false. Being smart does not guarantee anyone has all of the answers, which I completely agree with that. You could be smart, but that does not guarantee that you have all the answers. Okay. So number two, oh, I'm sorry. I'm so used to doing number two. And I took, yeah. So number two. Well, Camille said false because people with fancy degrees does not mean it makes them smarter. Book sense goes a long way, but you need common sense to do life. She said false because people with fancy degrees does not mean that they are smarter, but book sense goes a long way, but you need common sense to do life. So that is awesome. And I wanted to share that because I think I'm not going to say a lot of people. I think some people feel like because they are book smart, that they are automatically smarter than everyone else. For me, I am book smart and street smart. I'm a combination of both. So I can rock with what Camille said. I can rock with that wholeheartedly. Hands down, I can rock with that. Okay. All right. So yesterday, Tuesday, I asked if you were a teacher, what would you teach? So I said I would teach building relationships. And I said that because the first relationship that we build is with ourselves. So that is huge. We have to build our relationship first. And it's a lot involved with building your relationship with yourself first. And it's because, before we were told how to think, what to wear, and all of that, we had our own identity. Like, we were free as kids and children to be our true selves before the world came in and said, yo, stop doing that. That's not what it really is. So that's why building relationships is something that I would teach, because the first relationship you have is with self. You can't build any other relationship. I mean, you can, but during that process, you're going to have to build you first. You're going to have to build you first. And that is so huge and so important, because when you know who you are and you're trusting in yourself, that's huge. Then you don't care what other people think, because you're firmly grounded in what you are saying to yourself. You're firmly grounded in your intuition, you. And it's a lot involved with that. It's a lot of, it's a process. It's levels to building a solid foundation with yourself. And that is so huge, and that is so key in all areas of your life. And I think people really underestimate that. Like, it took, I mean, seriously, Rockstar, if you have been rocking with me, you've seen, you know, my ups and my downs, my growths, my, whatever, because you've been rocking with me. So, you have to, for me, I had to go deep within myself so I can be who I'm supposed to be. And that's a lot of work. And it's a constant work. It never stops. It never stops, because when you are constantly building a solid foundation with yourself, you are laying that foundation brick by brick. And it's not, let me say this right. It's not to just throw it up there and say, okay, yeah, this is what I did. And just, flippantly say that you have a good relationship with self, because it shows when you have a good relationship with yourself. It shows. It comes out. It comes out when you have a good relationship with yourself. So it's really something that you cannot hide. So what I am finding, or as I am going through this process, which is a constant process, which I am loving, by the way, because, oh my goodness, you discover so much about yourself when you start cultivating and growing a relationship with yourself. Oh my goodness. You show up differently. Your light is different. You don't care if, people think you're weird. I embrace my weirdness. I always have and always will. I know I'm weird. I get it. And it's okay. I'm perfectly fine with my weirdness. But it's a beautiful, beautiful feeling. And it's a beautiful, beautiful place to be in. So I could teach building relationships with yourself and others to the wheels fall off. Just gonna say that. To the wheels fall off. That's what I would teach first. I got some other things I would teach, but that I could teach hands down. No questions asked. Hands down. right, so I had one more person comment. I gotta figure out some things with them, but Candace Keith said she would teach the joys of solo travel, never alone for long. Never alone for long. And truthfully, I had to read that a couple of times. I was like, wait, what? And sometimes you know how you read too fast and it don't make sense. That's what I was like, wait, what? Okay. So I had to read it again. So I would take that class. I would take that class for the simple fact that when you travel, like I remember, okay, this is like a couple of years ago, maybe, what's this, 2021, 2019 or 2018 going into 2019. Okay, I'm looking off because I want to make sure I got this right. Was somewhere between 2018 and 2019. I used to drive out of state to go get my hair did. Okay. So I remember this one time, like if okay, this is, you know, the hubs had something to do. The boys, they were working, they were doing their thing. And so I had as a as a last resort, I asked my mom. And she, I don't know what happened. I asked my mom, and then I think I asked my sister. But anyway, long story short, I winded up driving down to Cincy by myself. Now, I don't have a problem with it. It's 4 hours. It's 3.5, depending on how you drive. I drive fast. So, and I remember my mom calling me, and she's like, "You did not drive down there by yourself?" Yes, I did. I sure did. I it's something about being alone with yourself and in your thoughts that is truly a wonderful thing. So I know that's like a short trip, but like traveling like out overseas, out of the country type thing, yeah, I would definitely do that. Just to travel one time by yourself, live off the land, get to know the culture and the people. Ooh, ooh, oh, I got my next question. See, people give me ideas all of the time. Oh my gosh. So yes. Thank you, Candace Keith. You gave me an idea. Thank you, thank you. So oh my goodness, this is such a fun thing for me to do. All right, so let's go back through it. So if you want to go back and look at that post and comment on it, do so. And I will share it on my next live. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and I will chat at you later. Ciao.